Throughout history, humanity has left behind a trail of enigmatic relics and puzzling phenomena that continue to baffle scholars and enthusiasts alike. From cryptic artifacts and lost civilizations to inexplicable engineering feats and uncharted legends, these mysteries stir our imaginations and provoke endless questions. Despite advances in technology and knowledge, some secrets remain locked in the mists of time, defying all attempts at resolution. Join us as we delve into the top 10 unsolved ancient mysteries of all time, exploring the riddles that have captivated our curiosity and challenged our understanding of the past. Sit tight as we begin. Number 1. Thonis Heracleion. Thonis was constructed on islands that were located in the Nile Delta. The city was designed with a central temple at its focal point, and was crisscrossed by canals that connected various harbors and anchorages. The city's wharves, temples, and tower houses were connected by various means of transportation, such as ferries, bridges, and pontoons. The city served as a trading port, and by the late period, became the primary hub for international trade and tax collection in the country. Another trading port, called Naucratis, was located 72 kilometers further up the Nile, serving as its sister city. Goods were transported inland, either through Naucratis or via the western leg and a water channel to the nearby town of Canopus for further distribution. Thonis had a grand temple dedicated to Khonshu, the son of Ammon, also known to the Greeks as Heracles. Over time, the worship of Ammon gained greater prominence. In the period of its peak prosperity, from the 6th to the 4th centuries BC, the city boasted a prominent temple dedicated to Ammon-Gareb, this chief deity of the ancient Egyptians. In the 4th century BC, King Nectanebo I made several additions to the temple. The sanctuaries in Heracleion were renowned for their ability to heal and drew pilgrims from far and wide. At Thonis Heracleion, archaeologists have discovered evidence of an annual celebration called the Mysteries of Osiris that took place during the month of Khoiak. A procession was held to transport the deity in his ceremonial boat from the Temple of Ammon in the city to his shrine in Canopus. As time passed, the city faced a series of challenges, including earthquakes, tsunamis, and rising sea levels, which gradually weakened its foundations. In approximately 101 BC, most likely following a significant flood, the foundation of the central island of Heracleion experienced soil liquefaction. During the time of Thonis Heracleion's submersion, ancient historians reported the occurrence of liquefaction, earth tremors, and tidal waves caused by earthquakes. Liquefaction is a common issue in the soil around the southeastern basin in the Mediterranean. The solid clay quickly transformed into a liquid, causing the buildings to crumble into the water. After the Roman era and the start of Arab rule, only a few residents remained. However, by the late 8th century AD, Thonis had completely disappeared beneath the sea. Thonis Heracleion remained untouched beneath the ocean floor for a period of 1,200 years. The city was buried under sand and debris, making it difficult to accidentally stumble upon any remnants. This is what has kept Thonis Heracleion so well preserved. No one had the opportunity to damage the city's remains, keeping them preserved. Number 2. The Plain of Jars. The Plain of Jars, situated in the Jing Kunang province in Laos, is a captivating archaeological site in Southeast Asia. For decades, archaeologists and historians have been perplexed by the thousands of large stone jars scattered across the plateau. The jars come in different sizes, ranging from 1 to 3 meters in height and weighing several tons. They are mainly made of sandstone, but some are also carved from granite and limestone. The impressive size and intricate workmanship of these creations indicate a remarkable cultural and technological feat accomplished by the ancient civilizations that crafted them. The jars' origin and purpose are still unknown. One theory proposes that they were utilized in burial ceremonies. Archaeological findings have provided evidence of human remains, burial goods, and ceramics found in close proximity to the jars. This suggests that the jars may have served as containers for bodies prior to cremation or secondary burial. Another theory suggests that the jars had practical purposes, such as collecting rainwater or storing food and alcohol. However, there is limited archaeological evidence to back up these claims. There is ongoing debate among scholars regarding the age of the jars, but it is commonly believed that they date back to the Iron Age, specifically around 500 BCE to 500 CE. The methods used to quarry, transport, and carve the jars at the site are still a mystery, which adds to its overall intrigue. The Plain of Jars has encountered difficulties as a result of the extensive bombing during the Vietnam War. This has resulted in the presence of numerous unexploded ordnances in the area, posing a threat to both the local population and researchers. Efforts have been made in recent years to clear these ordnances, making the site safer for exploration and study. Even with numerous unanswered questions, the Plain of Jars remains a source of fascination for both researchers and visitors. This artifact holds immense value due to its mysterious nature and historical importance, prompting us to explore further into the secrets of our ancient history. Number 3. The Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines are found in the Nazca Desert of southern Peru. They include more than 800 straight lines, 300 geometric shapes, and 70 animal and plant designs carved into the dry landscape. These massive geoglyphs were created by the Nazca people between 500 BCE and 500 CE, but their exact purpose remains a mystery. There are various shapes created by the geoglyphs. Several of the glyphs show various animals, including birds, llamas, monkeys, humans, fish, and jaguars. There are different types of images. Some are made up of basic geometric shapes and lines, while others feature more complex symbols, such as trees and flowers. The shapes were created by removing the layer of reddish gravel on top to reveal the ground underneath. Although the true purpose of the shapes remains a mystery, scholars generally concur that they hold a significant religious meaning. The Nazca region is characterized by its arid landscape. Due to the low annual rainfall and high temperatures, the region experiences minimal vegetation. In March, there is no rainfall, while January receives the highest amount of rainfall, averaging 2 millimeters. In February, the average temperature is 24.5 degrees Celsius, making it the warmest month. In July, the average temperatures drop to 16.6 degrees Celsius, making it the coldest month. The archaeological wonders possess several distinct characteristics that set them apart. These shapes have managed to endure for over 2,000 years. The survival is primarily attributed to the fact that the area is isolated from human populations and experiences low wind conditions. Even now, the meaning or significance of the lines remains a mystery to everyone. These lines are best viewed from a higher vantage point due to their large size. As a result, researchers have struggled to understand how the ancient culture created these drawings, given the absence of aeroplanes. There are theories suggesting that air balloons or geometric techniques were used to draw the shapes with precision. However, recent studies indicate that the shapes are easily visible to individuals standing on high mountains. There are different theories about the purpose of these structures. Some suggest that they were used for astronomical or religious reasons, while others propose they served as irrigation system or a means to track underground water sources. Number 4. Who actually wrote the Bible? The Bible is widely read and highly influential worldwide. Throughout history, the words of the Bible have influenced the lives of countless individuals, resulting in a wide range of interpretations. According to religious doctrine, God can be seen as the author in a figurative sense. Alternatively, the Bible can be seen as the Word of God, as conveyed through the prophets' translations. Setting aside that doctrine for a moment, however, some scholars have dedicated significant time to tracing the historical origins of the Bible's writings. It has been discovered that some of the names commonly associated with the writing of the Bible may not have actually written it. Actually, it's possible that some of them never existed. For instance, it's widely believed that Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible's Old Testament, which includes Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. He is also said to have carved the 10 Commandments into stone around 1300 BCE. Nevertheless, there's limited evidence to support the existence of Moses beyond religious texts. Another point to consider is that the book of Deuteronomy includes details about Moses' death and burial. This raises questions about how a deceased person could have written it. According to the Vatican, scholars have used distinct writing styles as internal clues to create profiles of authors who may have worked on the first 5 books. The abbreviations used are E for Elohist, J for Yahwist, P for priestly, and D for Deuteronomic. The Book of Deuteronomy and its authors are particularly noteworthy for their unique approach. They frequently refer to Moses in the third person, employ language that would not have been used during Moses' time, and even provide the precise location of Moses' tomb. Throughout the Bible, you can find other examples like this. Some sections are attributed to Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, while the Gospels are said to be written by the apostles Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Ultimately, no specific individuals or groups have been identified as the authors of the accounts in the Bible. Historical evidence has provided insights into the authors of the Bible. In this case, it appears that the answer is simply anyone who is listed as an author. Number 5. Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript is a 240-page book that was named after the Polish-American antiquarian bookseller Wilfred M. Voynich, who acquired it in 1912. It is written in a language or script that remains completely unknown. The document is filled with vibrant illustrations of peculiar diagrams, unusual occurrences, and unfamiliar plants, which only adds to its intrigue and makes it challenging to decipher. The identity of the original author of the manuscript remains a mystery. However, through carbon dating, it has been determined that the pages were created during the period between 1404 and 1438. Many people have referred to it as the most enigmatic manuscript in the world. There are many theories regarding the origin and nature of the manuscript. According to historian and artist Nicholas Gibbs, there is a belief that the purpose of the text was to serve as a pharmacopoeia, focusing on medical topics from the medieval or early modern period. In an essay for the Times Literary Supplement, Gibbs explains that the book is a compilation of remedies from medieval treatises. It serves as a guide for the health and well-being of affluent women, possibly customized for a specific person. Based on the images of herbs and plants, it appears that this could have been a textbook used by an alchemist. Some people have speculated that the book's mysterious diagrams, which resemble astronomical objects, and the unrecognizable biological drawings could possibly suggest an extraterrestrial origin. Most theorists generally agree that the book is unlikely to be a hoax, considering the significant investment of time, money, and attention to detail that would have been necessary to create it. Number 6. Where are the bones of Peking Man? The bones of Peking Man, a collection of Homo erectus fossils found in the 1920s and 1930s near Beijing at Zhoukoudian, have always been a subject of curiosity and fascination. These fossils are incredibly important in understanding human evolution. They consist of skulls, teeth, and other skeletal fragments, providing valuable insights into our early ancestors. However, the destiny of these priceless fossils drastically changed during World War II. In the late 1930s, due to increasing tensions in the Asia-Pacific region, the Peking Man fossils were relocated from their excavation site to the Peking Union Medical College for safekeeping. In 1941, due to the ongoing Japanese invasion of China and the increasing threat of war, a decision was made to send the fossils to the United States for safekeeping. The fossils were carefully packed into 2 crates and given to the United States Marine Corps for transportation to the American Museum of Natural History in New York. Unfortunately, the crates holding the Peking Man bones never reached their intended location. During the tumultuous events of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and the United States' entry into World War II, the search for the fossils came to a halt. There have been different theories suggested about what happened to them, such as the idea that they were lost at sea, buried in an unknown place, or captured by the Japanese forces. Despite many efforts and thorough investigations over the years, the original Peking Man fossils have yet to be found. The loss of these bones is a major setback for paleoanthropology, as they contain crucial information about the physical characteristics and behavior of early humans. Luckily, prior to their disappearance, thorough casts and descriptions of the fossils were created, enabling researchers to carry on with their study of Peking Man. Furthermore, recent excavations at Zhoukoudian have discovered more Homo erectus remains, ensuring that the legacy of Peking Man continues to be preserved. However, the enigma surrounding the disappearance of the bones continues to be a captivating and unsolved tale in the realm of human evolution studies. Number 7. Where is William Kidd's treasure hidden? William Kidd, also known as Captain Kidd, was a well-known Scottish privateer who sailed the seas during the late 1600s. In 1701, he was hanged for piracy despite being initially commissioned by the British government to arrest pirates. Kidd managed to seize and loot numerous ships before meeting his unfortunate demise. However, the incident that caused him trouble was the Quedagh Merchant. This ship, captained by an Englishman, had French regulatory favors and was transporting goods belonging to a nobleman from the Mughal Emperor's court in South Asia. The British labeled Kidd as a pirate as a result of this. Kidd discovered the news and promptly set sail for New York on a different ship, hoping to vindicate himself. The Quedagh Merchant was left behind soon after Kidd's departure, and its wreckage was discovered in 2007. According to a letter he wrote to the British government, which is now in the British National Archives, Kidd stated that he stole approximately 100,000 British pounds, equivalent to around $20 million today, and hid it somewhere. He offered to reveal the location in exchange for his life. The offer was rejected, and he was put to death. Until his last breath, Kidd maintained that he was a lawful privateer who had only targeted vessels authorized by the Crown. However, he met a gruesome fate as he was hanged, covered in pitch, and confined in an iron cage that was publicly exhibited above the Thames. In any case, all of this treasure remains unrecovered and is unlikely to ever be found. Number 8. Why were the Easter Island heads built? In 1772, on Easter Day, the Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen discovered an extremely remote island in the South Seas. The structure was embellished with almost 1,000 towering statues, each measuring 30 feet in height. Easter Island was named by Roggeveen, and over the past 250 years, it has remained a source of fascination for people worldwide. In 1774, British mariner Captain James Cook expressed astonishment at how the islanders, who had no knowledge of mechanical power, were able to erect such enormous figures. There has been much speculation regarding the origins of Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, and the stone heads that are scattered across the island. Recent research indicates that these statues may have been strategically placed near sources of fresh water for the island's inhabitants. Rapa Nui experiences minimal annual rainfall and is surrounded by salt water due to its location in the middle of the sea. It is possible that the Moai served as makers of the inhabitants of Rapa Nui, indicating the presence of drinkable water in the vicinity. It's important to note that this is just one theory among many, and it only addresses one of the many questions that researchers have about the island and its massive stone heads. Researchers have generally reached a consensus that the island's initial inhabitants probably originated from another Polynesian island. However, they have yet to agree on the specific island. It is also worth considering why the inhabitants of Rapa Nui chose to dismantle some of the towering statues before Roggeveen's arrival in 1772, particularly if their creation was influenced by the need for water resources. There are many different theories about the origins of Rapa Nui based on archaeological and anthropological records. The oral histories of the islanders also provide additional possibilities, further complicating the matter. Even now, the numerous enigmas surrounding Easter Island remain unsolved. Number 9. Georgia Guidestones. The Georgia Guidestones, often called the American Stonehenge, is a monument made of granite that was built in Elbert County, Georgia in 1979. The stones bear inscriptions in 8 different languages, including English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. Each language presents 10 new commandments for an age of reason. The stones also align with specific astronomical features. The purpose and origin of the monument remain a mystery despite the absence of any encrypted messages. The person who hired them used the name R.C. Christian, but his true identity remains unknown. Out of the 10 commandments, the first one is often a topic of debate. Keep the human population under 500 million and maintain a harmonious balance with nature. Some people have interpreted it as permission to reduce the human population to a specific number, and those who oppose the stones have demanded their destruction. There are some conspiracy theorists who believe that these objects may have been crafted by a secret society with intentions of establishing a new world order. Number 10. Cleopatra's tomb. Cleopatra VII, the last queen of Egypt, is an ancient ruler who is well documented. She is famously known for her relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, and her tragic end after their defeat at the Battle of Actium in 30 BC. However, the exact whereabouts of Antony's and Cleopatra's tomb, where they were believed to be buried side by side, is still a baffling enigma. According to some researchers, Alexandria, the capital city and the cultural center of the Mediterranean world, may have been the home of this lost treasure. However, it is believed to have been lost during a devastating tsunami in 365 AD. Some believe that another possible location for Cleopatra and Antony's burial site could be in the Nile Delta, potentially in a temple dedicated to Isis and Osiris, the gods that Cleopatra and Antony were closely linked. Other famous burial sites that remain undiscovered include those of Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. Which other mysteries would you like us to talk about? Do you have your own theories about these mysteries? Share them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more fascinating historical content. Thanks for watching.